So yeah, I think if I would have just gone, ow, good job, Amy. Jesus. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Pavonine Studios, Beauty and Art. My name is Amy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am going to, okay, here's the story. I wanted to see if the Ulta that I went to had the Wahala one. They didn't. I also wanted to see if they had the newest Lorac lip glosses, and they didn't even have Lorac. Not all of the Ultas have Lorac. So anyway, that was kind of a bust. But after some deliberation, I decided I would pick up the 35 XO palette from Morphe. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I guess I was just in the mood to spend $30 on something that I really didn't need. But we're going to try it out today. And I've got a mauve pink top on, so we're going to do a mauve pink look because this is a mauve pink palette. And like most Morphe palettes, I feel like this could have been curated to an 18 pan palette. There's a lot of similar colors, a lot of not repeats exactly. But, I mean, in the pan they look different, but there's definitely shadows in here that you don't need that many shadows. And I've got my eyes primed already. Let me smoosh out the creases there before we get going. And I think that I am going to go into the color Message Red. This is just kind of a mauve pink color, and I'm going to put this in my crease. That's a little darker than it looks in the pan, which kind of makes me happy. And once again, I realized I forgot to zoom you in. I'm never going to learn, guys. So I'm not being super neat here or anything, but you know, I'm just kind of putting it where I think I want the bulk of the color. So I'm going to go into the color Talk Feelings, and this is another mauve pink color. It's a little pinker than the one I just used, but about the same shade, like as far as darkness goes. So yeah, I think you can tell that that's a little bit warmer. My neighbors are cutting down trees or something, or trimming trees. I'm not sure what they're doing. But I hear chainsaws and then I hear big thumps, and so I'm guessing they're taking whole trees out, but they've got a lot of trees, so that's probably a good thing. Try to keep the damage from windstorms and stuff down a little bit. Let's go into the color Love Story, which is a little bit more purple. There's a little bit more of a purple tone to it. And I'm just gonna put that right over what I just did, and maybe down just a touch. So far, I'm not having any trouble blending anything. That's a good thing because that's not always the case with Morphe. But honestly, I feel like if you can't get like pinks and browns right, then you need to find a different line of work. I'm going to take the color Charmer, which is kind of a medium to dark chocolatey brown. I'm just going to put that, like, I'm keeping my eyes open, you'll notice, right above the crease. So I'm going to go back into the color Talk Feelings, and I'm going to take a little bit of that right along the edge here. Just to bring back some of this, of the pinkness to that outside edge. So I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to go into the color Happily Ever After, which is kind of a mid-tone pink shimmer. So that's real pretty. I like that. And I think I will spray my brush. Let's try it first. Well, maybe I won't need to spray my brush. I feel like I lost a little bit of that sort of purpley shade, the color called Love Story. So I think instead I'm going to go back into my crease between this brown and this pink that I just did with the color Meet the Rents, and I'm going to put that in my crease here just to kind of, not because I think it's going to show up so much exactly, but I'm just trying to give this the littlest hint of purple here. Honestly, I don't know why I bought another palette to review to try when I've got 2 or 3 waiting in the wings that I need to do. I'm going to take like a little detail brush and I'm going to go into the color Make It Official, which is a dark kind of cool tone brown. And I'm just going to put this right here on the outer corner, just a little bit. And then I'm going to blend that out with a little bit bigger brush. So I feel like that's not really layering that well, that color, that Make It Official color, which is disappointing, but what are you gonna do, right? That's Morphe for you. I'm gonna take the color +1, which is a matte with little sparkles in it, and I don't really like colors like that, but I'm gonna just put that in the crease too. I'm just not getting the warmth that I want there. And I'm probably just being picky, but I think that once I put my eyeliner on and stuff, it'll be fine. It will be good enough. I'm not a pro. I don't pretend to be a pro. We're gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna put on some liner of some sort. And I'm just gonna clean up a little bit because there was some fallout there. While I was at Ulta yesterday, I also picked up a new to me foundation, and it is the Revolution Conceal and Glow. And I think I've talked about the Revolution Conceal and Define, and the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. Those are the other 2 foundations. I think that's right. Revolution Conceal and Glow Illuminating Foundation, medium to full coverage with vitamin C and lotus flower extract. And I played with this just a little bit last night to check the shade and stuff. It's awfully light. I got the shade F4. And the other ones that I have are also F4. I mean, I have more than one bottle of those, you know, because I need different shades depending on the time of the year. But this, to me, last night anyway, was not glowy. Now, it might be one of those sort of matte with a shimmer kind of situation, which I don't like those very much, but we're gonna give it a try, like for real. Put it on for real instead of just, you know, smearing a little bit on my jawbone and stuff. But I will go finish off my eyeliner and so forth, and then I will come back and we will put this foundation on my face and see what I think. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm back and I've got my liner and mascara on. Yesterday when I was out and about, I also went by TJ Maxx and I picked up this primer, which is from Nika K, or is it Nika K? I'm not sure. I feel like I've heard it pronounced both ways. And this is the 24 karat gold face primer. So I'm going to put some of that on. It's a sticky primer, so if you don't like that, you're not going to like this. But I was kind of pleased to find something from Nika K, which is not a brand that I come across all that often. I'm not really into the whole, you know, little gold flakes and primers and stuff like that. I don't really understand the point of that. Whatever. So I want to try this foundation, and I think that I am going to, might as well put another gold flake product on. I think I'm going to actually mix it on the back of my hand with a little bit of the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. because this is an oil, and that foundation, when I tried it on last night to test the shade, seemed really matte for a glowy illuminating foundation. It just seemed really really matte. I don't know, maybe I wasn't doing it right. I don't know. So I'm going to take 2 drops of the Farsali oil. This is so light that I don't want to go too crazy. I'll just do 1 pump, and if I need to do more, I'll just mix some more with the same proportions. But I'm just gonna mix this on the back of my hand. So it's pretty light. One of the things that I do like about the Revolution foundations, though, is that the undertone is not yellow. It's more of a pink, and so, or a cooler colors, which I like for my skin tone. And we're gonna put this on there. Now, I could have put this on without doing anything, like mixing it and stuff, but honestly, I know that I don't like foundations that are super matte like that. And so, I don't know. It's like, why start out almost for sure knowing that I'm not going to like that kind of a finish on myself, when I could just add a little bit of face oil and solve the problem. One thing I do not know is if this mixes well with oil. So that we'll find out, I guess. Today's an experimental day. I have a few little errands that I need to do, and want to go get those done. The weather's shitty here, of course. It's windy and raining, and I don't like it, but I'm going to go out in it anyway because I'm a maniac like that. So it's pretty light, but I think it'll be all right once I like bronze and stuff like that. And I think I am going to mix another little dab of this, just because I feel like that's probably medium coverage, and I just want to build it up mostly on my cheeks and stuff. For my concealer today, I think I'm going to use one that I also found at TJ Maxx. It's the Milk Flex concealer, I think is what it's called. Now, they didn't have a lot of shades, and I picked up the color Porcelain, which is really light, but I'm gonna try to make it work. I don't know. I somebody that I watch on YouTube likes that concealer, but can I remember who it is? No. So if I think of it, I'll put it down in the description box or something. But I think that somebody I watch likes that concealer, so I'm kind of interested in it. I'm so excited. I have a facial next week, and I haven't had a facial in a while because COVID. Apparently my dermatologist was running a special or whatever, where you got a free facial if you got at least 20 units of Botox, which I was already scheduled for. And she's like, do you want to do that? And I'm like, hell yeah, because those Hydra facials, they're really expensive. They're like I don't know, $200 or something like that. I can't remember what I paid last time. It was a lot. And I thought, I can't afford to do that more than once a year, maybe. And maybe I'll since I have some extra, I think I'll put it on my chest, because my chest is showing today a little bit. Or my neck. My chest neck. Is that a thing? It's a thing today. And I'm not going to try to cover it up. I'm just going to try to use up what I've got here on my hand. I think adding the oil really sort of increased the glowiness of this foundation, because it did not look like this on me last night when I was testing it. The thing I don't like, and I've mentioned this before, about like overly glowy, dewy, shiny, illuminating, sparkly, whatever you want to call it, foundations, is that I don't like the way they look on my forehead, because they accentuate my expression lines, which is why I get Botox. But even so, the lines are still there, even though I may not be, expressing things on my forehead like I would normally. But there's something about when something is shiny, sparkly, illuminating, whatever, that it just accentuates texture, and texture, sometimes people think that just means like bumps and things, but it means lines too, at least to me. So I am going to bounce over this with my sponge, obviously, and then we'll have a peek and see what it's looking like. And all right, let's have a look. So I feel like that has nice nice coverage, maybe a medium to high medium. I can still see a few little things poking through on my skin as far as freckles and things, and that's okay. I don't mind that. So far, it looks okay. I'm reserving judgment. I'm right this minute. I don't like it as well as I like the Conceal and Hydrate one, which I like a fair amount. So this is the Flex Concealer from Milk, and it has a little doe foot applicator. And because this is so damn light, I'm going to put a little dot here and a little dot here, here, and here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little Giorgio Armani on with that, because that is definitely closer to my skin tone. So we'll just put a little tiny dot of that as well. And we'll just kind of blend those together and see what happens. Can't find my usual brush that I blend out my concealer. Actually, I have two of them, and they're here somewhere on this disaster area of a vanity I have. I think if I would have just put just the Flex one on, it would have been too light. It would have had that weird raccoon look. Nobody wants that. All right, so I'm just going to tap that out with my warm finger. And I'll go ahead and set this with my NARS crystal powder as well. But first, it's okay. I'm not a big lover of concealer, just in general. If you've been here a while, you know that I don't even conceal all the time. I do it more on camera than I do in like real life, because I know that a lot of people do like concealer and do like to cover darkness and things like that. So I go ahead and do it for that, but for myself, I don't always do it. So right now it looks nice. I'm going to go ahead and add a little powder a little bit, because I kind of like to powder. I like to set my forehead especially, and I think I'm gonna do that today. But I'm gonna go pretty easy, because like I say, even though I added that facial oil to the foundation, this was a very matte foundation. So I don't love that, and so powder can really take something like that to the next level, and too much powder is not really a good thing, at least not on me. I am going to go put on the rest of my makeup, because I don't have anything else new, and I will come back and I will give you kind of some final thoughts on the foundation as it sits, and the eyeshadow as well. And I will try to do a check-in today. It's really early right now, so I should be able to do that for you guys, and I'll let you know what I think of this. I think this was a pretty new foundation, because it had kind of a special spot. So, and I don't remember seeing this packaging before, and thank God it's in a pump, because one of the other ones, I can't remember which one it is, has one of those doe foot applicators, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't really like those. I just think they make something complicated that doesn't need to be complicated. So why do that? All right, guys, I will be right back. So instead of sharing with you what I put on my face, I'm just going to go ahead and list everything down below like I always do. And let's get into the foundation and the palette here. For the foundation, so far, I like it. Is it my favorite? Is it the best thing I've ever tried? No. I would think that if you're oilier and you like a little bit of a glow that doesn't come from oil, you might really like this. Um, if you're super dry, and I tend to be basically pretty normal, I wouldn't bother. I'd get the Conceal and Hydrate one if you want to try a Revolution foundation. For the eyeshadow palette, do you need this? You absolutely do not need this if you have um, like other Morphe palettes, or you have, you just have other palettes in general. I would say that this would be really nice for somebody who was relatively new to makeup, didn't quite know what they wanted to keep it relatively natural with a few options to deepen things up and make things a little bit more dramatic if they wanted to. I think that would be really good for, especially for $30, for 35 eyeshadows, even though you can see that there are quite a few, similar colors and stuff. Um, but in general, I don't think that you need this palette. I don't hate it. I'll probably wear it some more, maybe do some more looks with it. I'm not sure. There are definitely some shimmers in here that I would like to try. This one, Hard to Get, Major Seduction, Matchmaker, The Chase. Let's see what those look like. So there's some finger swatches of those, and let's just see if I can't do a little swatchy poo for you. I'm not going to swatch the whole palette because ain't nobody got time for that. Morphe shimmers are usually pretty nice, as long as they're not like a topper shade or something like that. They're nice. These are real pretty. Real pretty. The shimmers are nice. The mattes, I didn't really have any problem with them. I wish there was one or two even darker colors, like more saturated, especially on the lid. I did end up going on my outer corner, and I didn't do a wing liner. I taped off my eyes and I just used a dark shadow, and I used the really dark brown from the Melt Rust palette. And I've mentioned that before. It's just one of those colors that when I want something to deepen up a look where I don't want black necessarily. Black shadow is kind of hard anyway, but I want something really intense and really dark. I go for that color. Let me show you that color real quick. This is the Rust palette, and the color that I went in with is called Rot or Rot Squared. I'm not sure which, and it's this one right here, and it's like a blackened brown, so it's really dark, and it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that works for me when I want to deepen something up, but I don't necessarily want a black. This palette is not really any exception as far as wishing for a palette that had some more depth to it. So it's got plenty of light shades, transition shades, shimmery things for your lid. I mean, those are beautiful. There's no doubt about it, and they felt really creamy, and that was just, finger swatches. Maybe if you sprayed your brush and stuff, you might even get more of a foiled look with those. I don't know. I definitely want to try some of those because they are lovely. I mean, I totally could have gone in with one of those for my lid shade. Think about what you have in your collection already, and if you feel like you're lacking a lot of transition shades, or a lot of you want more pinky mauves and purpley mauves and things like that, then this is definitely an option. And I am going to leave it there. I will check back in later if I can, if we don't lose power. Hi guys, I'm back to do my check-in for the makeup I have on today. So I have the 35XO palette from Morphe on my eyes, and I have the, new to me anyway, foundation from Revolution. This is the Conceal and Glow foundation. And I'm not going to draw this out too much, but I've had all this on for about, I want to say about 7 to 8 hours. I'm actually pretty happy with the with the foundation. It's looking a little bit kind of a little bit dry on my, like where my mask was touching my face and probably rubbing a little bit. Uh, but it's not settled anywhere that I can see. It was looking a little heavy right in here, so I kind of tapped that out a few minutes ago, and that seemed to, basically take care of that best I could tell. Little bit of settling around my nose, not too bad. That's so typical, I think, for most people. People either get oily right there in that little crevice, or they get really dry. So I'm not displeased with this foundation. I did mix it with that Farsali Rose Gold Elixir face oil, and I would definitely recommend, if you're like normal or normal to dry, maybe even combination, to mix this foundation with an oil of some sort, or at the very least something really hydrating and stuff, maybe like the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream, something like that. Because I feel like this foundation benefits from having a really nice hydrated surface to work on. And although I haven't tried it with like the Tatcha cream or anything like that, I probably will give it a try, just to see, just to see what happens. The eyeshadow palette, I got lots of compliments today on my makeup for whatever reason. I don't know why exactly, but I mean it does look pretty. I don't know if you will be able to see it, but it is a little bit not creased, but almost like worn off right here. There's like a little kind of a naked spot. Now, just looking at me straight on, you're not going to be able to see that because of the way my eyes are hooded and everything. But like when I stretch my eyelid out and look down, that kind of thing, then I can see it, of course. But it's not super offensive or anything like that. It's not. I'd almost prefer that than creasing, because there's something about creasing that makes everything just makes you look a little bit rougher than maybe you feel, or whatever. So I don't mind a little bit of wear, but in general, I mean, I think this look is really pretty. It's just kind of your basic sort of mauve cranberry type look. It's not super cranberry because the colors in this palette are very they're very mauve, they're very pinky, a little bit of purple, not a lot of red going on. So if you're looking for something that's got red in it, this is not it. Also, I wanted to mention that I moved my lights around a little bit. If somebody could let me know how the lighting looks. Like, I didn't get anything new. I just moved my like little puck light spotlight things that I have that are on flexible arms, and I'm trying to eliminate as many shadows and stuff from, like, if I hold something up, or if I hold, a brush to my eye, that kind of thing. I want to try to minimize um, the shadows that I get. One other thing that I wanted to mention, I am going to be redoing my background, and so I'm kind of excited about that. You know how it is, you get like an idea in your head and you're like, I've got to bring it to fruition, and so that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. So look forward to that. It'll be kind of a holiday themed situation, so I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to putting that together and kind of playing with things a little bit. So I probably will not have the sort of reddish background. I haven't decided. My wall is red and my lights are red back there, so I may switch that up a little bit as well. I have to tell you this before I go, though, because this is just like a public service announcement for you. So I was in the bathroom washing my face, and I had taken off my lashes the other day, and I just set them on the counter. Don't do that, boys and girls, because I picked up my eyelashes with my washcloth that I had set on the counter, while I was warming up the water and stuff. Picked that up, went to wet my washcloth, and I saw my eyelashes go down the drain. I'm like, no, no, no. I mean, they weren't expensive lashes or anything like that, and thank God they weren't like really dramatic lashes. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have fit down the drain. But down they went, and I'm like, what do I do about that? Do I just leave them there and wait till my husband snakes the drain, in a month or so? I don't know. Anyway, public service announcement, don't do that. Put your eyelashes away, or at least put them somewhere where you're not going to wash them down the sink. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had a good time. And don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to see more content. I upload a number of times a week. And until next time, bye guys.